Welcome back to the Foundry by Forge College. Today, we're stepping right off the theoretical whiteboard and heading straight into the engineering factory. In our previous explainer, we spent some time designing the interfaces for ERC-4337 flows. But now it's time to roll up our sleeves and write the actual code for smart wallet hooks. We're going to implement, test, and validate exactly how smart wallets produce these operations. Okay, let's dive right in. So I want you to think of yourself as the chief engineer for a moment. It's time to take those elegant, high-level interface designs we talked about last time and actually start manufacturing real, functional ERC-4337 payloads. We are moving from the abstract to the concrete here. We're literally building the assembly line that's going to pump out valid smart wallet transactions. Oh, and don't worry, you won't get your hands too dirty. Here is a quick look at the blueprint for our factory tour today. We'll start by moving from design to code. Then we'll assemble the payload, build and validate our work, run some local simulations, and finally wrap up with a review of what comes next. All right, let's kick things off with step 1, taking our designs and translating those boundaries into actual code. To really turn this design into code, we have to talk about the heavy lifting, and that all revolves around the user operation. Think of your wallet's internal transaction data as kind of oddly shaped cargo. Maybe you've got a lamp, a bicycle, and a toaster all just tossed together. To ship all that out onto the ERC-4337 network, it has to be perfectly packed into the exact dimensions of a standardized shipping container. That container is your user operation. Every single field must be precisely right, or the network is just going to reject your shipment outright, no exceptions. Now, to pull this off correctly, we divide the labor. On one side, you have the wallet builder hook. Its only job is to assemble the parts and set deterministic gas defaults. Basically, it's the guy packing the box. On the other side, we have the key signer. This is your security guard, providing the cryptographic signature. It's absolutely crucial to maintain a strict separation of concerns here. The hook packs the box, the signer acts as the security guard, verifying and stamping the final approval. You definitely don't want the packer forging the security stamps, right? Moving right along to phase 2, let's look at assembling that payload. Let's walk onto the assembly line and look at the exact translation process. Notice how internal wallet fields like to, data, and value all get squished and packed into a single user operation field called callData. And check out gasEstimate. It maps to callGasLimit, but you've got to remember to pad that estimate with a buffer. Even your wallet's nonce maps straight to the canonical nonce, but you must ensure the type consistency is absolutely perfect. It's like translating a simple number into a highly specific hex string. It requires serious precision. Beyond those basic fields, we actually have a couple of VIP fields, initCode and paymaster and data. Let's say your transaction requires deploying a brand new wallet right on the spot. Well, you'd use the initCode field for that. Or maybe you're having a third-party sponsor the gas fee so the user doesn't have to pay a dime out of pocket. You'd attach that info to paymaster and data. These specialized fields only get tacked onto the payload during assembly when they're actually needed, but they are incredibly powerful tools to have in your Web3 engineering toolkit. All right, on to step 3, building, iterating, and validating our setup. Writing all this mapping code manually? Yeah, that can get pretty tedious. So we're going to employ an AI pair programmer. Think of it as an eager, slightly literal-minded robot apprentice ready to turn out the boilerplate. Your starter prompt to this AI needs to be a direct command from you, the chief engineer. You'd tell it, generate a Node.js or TypeScript implementation for a smart wallet hook. Explicitly tell it to map the internal transaction, compute an EIP 191 style signature, and export a simulation function. Being highly specific guarantees you'll get the 3 foundational files you actually need: the wallet hook, the signer, and the simulator. Now you've got to wrangle your new AI intern using a tight 3-step loop. Step 1, build. Generate the initial hook using that specific prompt. Step 2, iterate. Look, the code probably won't be perfect the first time around, especially when you're dealing with cryptographic hashing. So you run it, grab the error trace, and feed it right back to the AI for a surgical fix. Step 3, validate. Run your local checks to make sure the structure and the signatures actually work. You just repeat this loop until the payload is literally perfect. Next up, step 4. Let's do some testing, simulation, and local quality control. Once the AI spits out the code, the product heads over to our quality control station. We need to ensure it absolutely won't break when it hits the actual network. And this right here is where most engineers hit a massive wall: the user op hash. This is the exact cryptographic fingerprint of your assembled payload. It's exactly what the entry point expects your signer to approve.
Fun fact, signature encoding is the #1 source of interoperability bugs in smart wallets. Your local simulator must perfectly mirror how the real network computes this specific hash. If your hash is even a single byte off, boom, the whole transaction fails.
To prevent those frustrating failures, we use a rigorous checklist. Every single simulated payload must pass these checks. First, structural. Does the JSON contain all the canonical fields, and do the field types match hexo or numeric standards? Let me tell you, a missing string where a number should be will break things instantly. Next, cryptographic. Does the recovered address from the signature actually match the expected signer? And finally, behavioral. Does a mock execution actually alter the state as intended? Check off all these boxes locally, and you're going to be in great shape. But let me pose a question to you. What happens if signature recovery fails during simulation? What if the security guard just rejects the stamp? First rule, don't panic. Simply capture the recomputed hash hex, the recovered address, and the original signature. Then take that exact debugging detail and feed it right back to your AI apprentice. Say something like, hey, recover address is returning this wrong address. Fix the signature encoding. Targeted prompts get you targeted fixes.
Finally, we've reached step 5, final review. We are preparing to ship.
So with our payloads cleanly packed, stamped, and thoroughly verified, it's time for prep for shipping. I want you to keep these core engineering principles in mind to keep your codebase modular and your debugging sessions short. Number 1, always separate the payload builder from the cryptographic signer. Number 2, use a single testable hash function so you know exactly what is being signed. And number 3, iterate in tight cycles with your AI assistant. So you might be wondering what's next? Well, next up is integration, reflection, and connecting to real bundlers. Now that we've built a fully functional local environment that flawlessly maps, hashes, and simulates our user operations, our next explainer will take these very hooks and connect them to real live network bundlers. We're moving straight from the local factory out onto the global supply chain. I'll leave you with this final, kind of scary thought. If you deployed your payload to the live network right this very second, would it be seamlessly accepted, or would it be instantly rejected because of a single, tiny, misplaced byte? Make sure your local assembly line is absolutely flawless before you ship. Hey, if you want to dive deeper into smart wallet architecture, troubleshoot your code, and explore a ton of other advanced Web3 topics, you've got to visit forge.college. Keep building, keep testing, and I will see you in the next explainer.